Chicago, Chicago, that toddling town.
Brandon Johnson calling the chaos unacceptable, but he's also asking people not to demonize the youth.
I do not look, the violence that happened over the weekend and the violence that happens too many weekends and too many days, of course we don't condone that behavior. That's the first thing that I said.
Brandon Johnson, Chicago mayor. Defund the police advocate.
The effort of the defund police movement lost an audience because of that that slogan, I guess is what he's calling it, which I don't look at it as a slogan. It's an actual real political goal.
It is well past due that we put an end to this dynamic that somehow not make it. Look, demonizing children is wrong. We have to keep them safe as well. Have you ever taught middle school? I have. Have you ever raised young people? Do you understand the risk that young people take just because they're young? They're young. Sometimes they make silly decisions. They do. And so we have to make sure that we are investing to make sure that young people know that they are supported.
To that end, I move that the Posen Park District no longer hosts an annual carnival moving forward. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Just like that, Posen's Park District voting unanimously to cease its annual carnival. Here's just a glimpse of the chaos with multiple police agencies responding.
It was just a flash mob, if you will, that decided to come and create all this chaos.
More than 2,000 attendees. Police say teens not from the area came and took over the event. There were fights coupled with teens running through the streets. Susan Adema lives nearby.
It's the best thing to do for our own safety. I live around the corner, and I did not like seeing this unrest. It reminded me of when they broke into the gas station during that civil unrest with whatever situation that happened.
They're young.
No more carnivals.
What do you say to your residents, Mayor, who believe that that's unfair, that a few bad apples should not stop the fun for everyone?
Well, first of all, it was more than a few bad apples. It was about 400 bad apples. So that's more than we can put in a barrel.
That's racist. But wait, there's more.
Stunning violent attack on a couple walking home after a dinner date. The attackers were believed to be teenagers. Tia Ewing spoke with the victims tonight. Tia.
Well, Dawn and Scott, the family, they tell me that they don't believe the motive here was robbery. In fact, they weren't robbed for anything. What they did tell me is as these kids were attacking them, they yelled out that they own the streets. The family, they don't want to be identified, but they do want people to be warned that these teen gatherings can turn violent really quickly.
Everything happened from behind us. First, someone approached him and hit his head, punched him in the head. And he looked back and he looked at me and told me, run. So he wanted to protect me.
Sometimes they make silly decisions. They do.
Another person starts stomping all over me, and my husband ran towards me to save me. Over 10 people held him.
Nina's hair was pulled from her scalp. Nina captured this image of the hair in her hand. When police arrived at Grand and McClure, the crowd started running, many hopping this fence. 2 teens were arrested and charged, a 17-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy. The teens aren't in police custody.
Wow. Just wow.
Nina was 2 weeks pregnant and says she found out after the attack that she lost the baby she was carrying.
We believe in faith, and it wasn't meant to be. So we don't know why this happened to us.
The greatest threat to the stability of the world right now remains a twice-impeached, multiply indicted former president of this nation. Donald Trump is the greatest threat the world faces.